Hi guys, welcome to this digital art workshop by Camel. I am Hananakwa, aka Artistically Yours on Instagram, and today we're going to be making this Panda picnic, and we're going to be using our primary art supplies are going to be the art markers by Camel and the 270 GSM sheets from Camel's premium sketchbook range and some fine liners. We're going to be doing a rough sketch with pencil first and ink it with fine liners and then go in with the alcohol markers. Using the pack of 6 fine liners. But if I use a gel pen instead of this and then go on with alcohol markers or watercolors, that ink will get spread while I use the other medium. So that's why something like that is not advisable. Again, see, very quick drying fine liners are. If you use something like a gel pen or even if some other pen or marker, you'll have to kind of wait for a while for it to dry. Otherwise, when you're erasing, you'll tend to smudge everything. You can even skip this page if your pencil is very light, and you can do this in the end because alcohol markers are translucent, so it'll go even after you've colored in with our art markers. Now these are the shades that I'm going to be using. It's better to have a swatch beside you so you know which colors you want to use and when, because you need to use same hues, same kind of color family like the greens for the shading bit. So if you have it all in a swatch, you know which shade to use where. Let's start off with the pandas. I'm gonna use cool gray 041 for their base and then a warm gray for the black part. With alcohol markers, you need to be a little bit mindful of the borders. I've left out a little space for the blush, by the way. Yeah, so you need to be a bit careful with the borders. You don't want to go exactly on the border because these do bleed through a little bit, very little bit. So leave out a little space at the edge, and within seconds, these will just cover up that part. Now these are dual tip, by the way. One is a chisel tip and one is a brush tip. A brush tip is what is recommended while using markers that are alcohol based, because you can color better. And for spaces like this, we can use the chisel tip so we can cover that area fast. Also, work your way through in patches instead of coloring a bigger area like this, because then you'll have streaks. Like this, it's very smooth. And right now, I'm just using the brush tip. This is the other tip, the chisel tip. This we'll use when we want to cover bigger areas. brush tip allows you to use it a bit flexibly, so you can go into like very thin areas also, and like hold it in a slant way and cover bigger areas also. This is dark blush, a lighter shade of pink. Now let's do this base. I'm using two blues, pastel blue and a turquoise blue. I'm gonna go in with the turquoise blue, which is a lighter shade. Somebody's asked about layering, so you can layer one on the other. If you want like a very smooth finish of layer, then you let it dry, the base layer, and then go on with the other layer. If you want to blend both the layers, then you work while it's still wet. See how smooth the water is, because we were working in smaller areas. Now I'm just gonna go in with the same shade. Now that it's all dry, I'm just gonna go with the same shade and create a little bit of depth. You see how smooth it has layered, very smoothly layered, because we waited for the layer to dry first, which is very important. I'm just creating a few ripples in the water. Now we're gonna use pastel blue, the shade. It's a slightly darker shade. We're gonna do the same thing we've done a thicker border with the previous shade, and now like a thinner one with the darker shade. So now we're going to do a bit of blending. So here we're going to do the lighter shade first, which is dark blush, and do the darker shade on top. So the two shades that I'm using are dark blush and rose pink. Rose pink I'm using for the darker areas and dark blush for the lighter areas. So this is dark blush as our base, and then we use the darker shade towards the tips. Use the lighter shade again to blend it out. I'm doing all this while it's still wet, so the blending is very seamless. The marker, does it change color? Yes, a few shades do. So that is why I mentioned in the beginning itself, make a swatch card for the shades that you're using, so you know exactly how they look once they're dry. A few colors do change shades and hues once they dry down, and you can see that with this shade, the dark blush, how it looks a bit of neon when using, and once it's dry it becomes more of a lighter pink shade. So yeah, do swatch it down so you know exactly what the color is gonna turn out once they dry. we can move on to the green bit. So let's finish off this part, so all of it will be done, and then we can move on to the bigger green part. So here again we're going to use two colors, yellow green and vivid green. You need to work it out while it's wet. So work in smaller areas, one leaf at a time. I'll just repeat the shades that I'm using. I'm using a yellow green and a vivid green. Yellow green is the lighter shade and vivid green is the darker shade. For the bigger leaves, if you noticed, I'm working in smaller areas because I want the darker shade to get blended out. And if it dries up, I won't be able to do that. Using darker green, the deep olive green, for these lotus strands, the stems. I'm doing both hand in hand because wet on wet technique. Bigger ones. Again, hand in hand. We also need one more shade here, which is vivid green. So lemon yellow, yellow green and vivid green. We're gonna use all three hand in hand. We'll work our way through one petal. You can divide one petal through the veins and work in very small patches if you want. Because these leaves are big, so the ink tends to dry faster. In the curled part of the leaf, two colors, yellow green and vivid green. Now I'm going to repeat the same process on these. Get the hang of it, you're able to work on slightly bigger patches faster. The same thing with the greens. You could even try increasing the amount of greens and playing around with the ratio of the light to dark and dark to light wherever you want, so that the whole thing doesn't look monotonous. In one leaf where we have more of the lighter shade, the other one can have more of the darker shade. and less of the lighter space, because obviously realistically our leaves are not going to look the same. Also, do not color the stems in, because our background is going to be darker and we need the stems to stand out a bit. So we're going to make them light instead of doing them dark. I'm going to do this one here but leave out the yellows now. Instead of doing like the yellow bases like we did for these people, we're going to do the yellow green and the vivid green. So like a base with yellow green. And then we'll go in with our darker shade, which is vivid green. And we do have one more shade, which is bronze green, which I'm going to use for the background here, hence why I wasn't using it for these ones, so that they don't blend out too much. Again, we're using a lighter shade so that when we color in the background with a darker shade, these stems are still visible. Let's just do this part of the background. Now for that, I'm using a warm grey 140, and with a chisel tip I'm just gonna go and fill in the rest of the background. For bigger spaces especially, remember to go in batches. Smaller areas, work your way through. Otherwise, the background won't look smooth. It will look streaky. With a salmon pink, which is like a darker version of this shade only. I'll do a few more of these. Again, this is why we used fine liner, so that we could go over even after you've used the markers, in the beginning also and even after the markers have been used. And our artwork is all ready. If you're doing it along with the YouTube video with the highlights of this entire workshop on Kokuyo Camlin's YouTube account, then also please tag us in your creations. My Instagram ID is artistically yours, and Camel has Kokuyo Camlin on Instagram. Do tag us and stay tuned for more workshops. Bye.